Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a bicycle shop. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Watch until the very end of the video to see where we place the store in our city. This is the amount of space required to make the bicycle store. And here are all of the materials that we will need to complete the build. Begin by placing a row of 4 cyan concrete in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then add 4 more rows on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to take this entire shape and extend it an additional row backwards. Next, we want to dig 2 rows in the ground right of this cyan concrete. 1, 2. Replace those 2 blocks with sea lanterns. Then next to this, place a white concrete. Dig 2 more rows extending right. 1, 2. Place sea lanterns inside of those holes. Then place a white concrete on the end. Dig 2 more rows and place smooth stone in there instead. And then on the end here, place a white concrete. We then want to place 2 additional white concretes on top of every single white concrete, and then place black stained glass on top of the sea lantern blocks, equaling the height of the white concrete. On the right side of the build, begin by extending this white concrete block backwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dig 2 rows in the ground, replace those with sea lanterns, and then on the end, place 6 more white concrete extending back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to add 2 more rows of white concrete on top of our white concrete, and then fill this gap in on top of the sea lanterns with black stained glass. Extending across the back of the build, we first of all want to dig 2 rows in the ground right of this row of white concrete. Place 2 sea lanterns inside of those empty spaces, a white concrete on the end, dig 2 more rows, place sea lanterns, white concrete, 2 more rows, place sea lanterns, white concrete, 1 more time, dig 2 rows, sea lanterns, and then a white concrete on the end. We then of course want to add 2 more rows of white concrete on top of every single white concrete, and then fill the remaining space in with glass on top of the sea lanterns. And then on the left side of the build, we want to begin by extending this row of white concrete forwards by 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dig 2 rows in the ground and replace those with sea lanterns, and then make the rest of the row white concrete connecting to the cyan. We then want to add 2 rows of white concrete on top of every single white concrete, and then fill this gap in with black stained glass. Inside of the store, we want to remove the first 2 rows of grass at the front of the store, extending left to right. We also want to do the exact same at the back, remove the back 2 rows of grass, left to right. We then want to remove the area of grass in between the 2 middle windows, left to right. We then want to take the 2 patches of grass that we have, and we want to leave rows of 2 grass starting from either end, 1, 2, and then dig in between the grass. So 1, 2, dig in between the grass, 1, 2, dig in between the grass. And we want to have the exact same area for the back as well. So we want to have 8 individual plots of grass. We can then fill all of this empty space that we have created in using quartz bricks. Then we will replace the grass with cyan concrete. This will give us 8 individual plots in which we are able to place our bicycles. Next, we will make the roof by placing a layer of smooth quartz slab that extends all the way around the tops of the walls of our bicycle store. We also want to add an additional row of smooth quartz slab that overhangs the back of the build, the right side of the build, and the front of the build. And then all we have to do is just fill the middle of the roof in using the smooth quartz slabs. Next, we will add a glass door to the entrance by placing a row of black stained glass paint along the right side of the door frame here, and a suspended end rod in front of the center glass pane block. We then want to add a pathway by digging the 2 smooth stone blocks forwards to meet the edge of the grid and placing smooth stone in there instead. We also want to remove these 2 rows of grass and white concrete to the right of these smooth stones, and we want to extend all the way across to the left as well, and remove and replace all of the grass and concrete that were there. We are now going to remove all of the grass and white concrete that exists on the right side of the grid, and also across the back of the grid as well. And we will replace the back portion and right side of the grid with podzol, and we will fill this little bit in here with lime terracotta. Next, we want to place a series of leaves along our podzol. So, all the way at the front, place a leaf, then leaf a gap, then place a leaf. On the opposite end of this path, place a leaf, gap, leaf, gap, so on and so forth, extending all the way to the back of the build. Then, we want to double up on the leaves, and then extend across this back window with 2 rows of leaves, like this. I also kind of like the idea of having a leaf here and here on the front of the build, although I'm not sure if it looks odd. Next, we are going to remove the only remaining part of the grid, and replace it with light grey concrete powder. Next, let's make the sign. Throw down a loom, open it up, place a brand new fresh white banner in there with some black dye, and first of all we are going to make the letter B. So that is the Pale Dexter pattern, Pale Sinister, Chief, Fess, Base. That's B. Next is I, so Pale. Next is K, Pale Dexter, Bend, Bend Sinister. Lastly is E, Pale Dexter, Chief, Fess, Base. Perfect. Then we simply leave a gap of 1 from the top of this sign and place a B, I, K, E, just like this, and hopefully that helps everybody figure out what this place is about. Next, we are going to make every single bike, the first of which is going to be placed here. So you find the middle of the light grey concrete powder, leave a gap or 2 from the right, and then place an iron bar. Left of that iron bar, an oak sign. In front of and behind the oak sign, we want to place flipped up oak trapdoors that connect to each other. Above the front pair of trapdoors, we simply place 2 oak fence next to each other, and there we have a bicycle. We then want to leave a gap of 2 in between this bike and the next, so leave a gap of 1, 2, and then on this third plot, place an iron bar, and then this time a spruce sign the same wheels and spruce fence above the front pair of oak trapdoors. Now, one last time outside, we want to leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, place an iron bar, and then this time a birch sign left of the bar, the same wheels, and birch fence above the front pair of oak trapdoors. Now that we have made all of the outdoor bicycles, we can now head inside and make the remaining 8. I'm sure that by now you guys know how to make a bike, so all we have to do is place each one of the 8 remaining colours of bike in each one of the 8 plots of cyan concrete. I am placing my iron bars in the middle left portion of the cyan concrete like this. Then I'm going to place all of the oak trapdoors flipped up next to the iron bars. And then, of course, all we have to do is place all of the individual signs and the fences that correspond with those signs. Lastly, you may want to add some lanterns just next to the central windows. And that is the entire tutorial complete, ladies and gentlemen. However, this video is not over. We must now take our bike store and add it into our city. There are multiple places in the city that the bike store could go, but I really am enjoying developing the modern suburbs area of the city right now, so I think that we will place it all the way up here, and whether or not this is where it will stay ultimately, I'm not sure, but for now I think it looks really good. And that's it. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to make any more city related builds, look no further than the mini city builds playlist down below in the description. As of recording this tutorial, we are almost 70 videos strong. We are so close. Once again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.